No way that these guys are going to be where they need to be in day 10, but they're working feverishly. We'll see what happens.
Previously on the $10,000 drag shootout.
He has to be good at delegating, I'll say that.
That converter is on fire right now.
Everything you do, we have to fix. Stop touching.
Seeing all that water come out, that could be the end of Team Homegrown.
Some guys, they try to play mind games, and if you're a good driver, you can just look past all that. I just focus on me. And that's what I think a good driver does. You focus on what it's gonna take to get you down the track and not worry about the other drivers. A good driver, one, is not afraid to push the limits and not afraid to wreck and not afraid to blow stuff up.
What would you do if I gave you $10,000 to build the quickest drag car possible in only 10 days? 4 teams, 1 race, 1 winner.
I may be out of my element, but he's out of his league.
If you're gonna play the game, you gotta play chess, not checkers.
Man, that looks cheated up to me.
Win the motherfucking race!
That's not gonna work.
Bank's still open. You just might not want to go through that drive-thru.
That thing sounded like a weak.
About a quarter of a second after flat pedal, this thing sounded like King Kong had been released, and it was like...
And then all of a sudden, everything just went wild. The whole car was shaking.
Seeing water in volumes and pressure like that is almost never a good sign. Motor's most likely hurt. It could be something dumb like a radiator cap, but I doubt it. No matter what, this could very well be the end of Team Homegrown.
So the front grille was rattling on the dome pressure sensor, and it lost dome pressure signal.
Something failed and it went full send, and that's everything the turbo had. 28 pounds of boost, 7,300 RPM, 9 degrees of timing, no intercooler. Yeah, it's gonna hurt stuff.
Are you mad? No, I'm not mad. This is racing.
When you've been working on it for 10 days and busting your ass, this is kind of kicking the for sure.
Y'all wanna know how much you made?
Yeah.
$965 to the tire. It's a big number.
You know, everybody's talking about the numbers it made, and I'm thinking about, we gotta fix this bastard. Something just bad happened.
David Reese, after that pull, I've seen all the water, he pulled one of the spark plugs, and it just dumped. That cylinder was just clear full of water. Most likely culprit, the cylinder head's probably severely damaged. They got big hurdles to go over in the next few hours. They don't have much time.
I'll be the first to say it. We f***ed up. We broke it. Could not get the car to spool at all. We sat there, tried repetitively several times, and our tuner, Carl, tried saying that there's no other options, it's mechanical problems, it's something in the car. Went, sat in the corner, pouted like a little kid.
irritating. Is it doing what it's supposed to do? No. You know what I mean?
It's just like coming up, almost getting its nut, and that's falling off.
Me and Marcus will figure it out on our own. And we're starting to learn that the converter that Carl picked is a little too tight for this combination. So we're probably gonna go with something a little looser, but I think the tranny might be burnt up. So we're gonna get that out and get it freshened up today.
So I took the trans back out this morning because it got like crispy.
Crispy
like
hot.
Nuclear meltdown. You know when like Fast and Furious when the floor falls out and all the bolts and it's like danger to manifold?
Danger to manifold.
And they shut up!
Diamond plate disappears.
That was kind of how like our trans went. It was just like, warning, warning. And he's like,
Hot, smack. Try to get it to build boost again.
yeah, let's try it again.
We get it together though. The converter guy said throw that in the trash, that is f***ing cooked. We're gonna give you guys a show one way or another. You're either gonna see that go down that track fast as or burst into flames. And either way, it's going down.
We'll get it fixed one way or another. We'll be at that racetrack.
So Homegrown is on its way back from the dyno. It looks like they may have lifted the heads over there. They may have found the number they were looking for, may have went just above that, but they had a problem over there. We still got a little bit of time left. We've got 3 others trying to go to the dyno tomorrow. So we still have 1 more day left in this deal.
Dear Jan.
So we hauled ass back here to the shop, busted it apart.
On the tuning aspect, I don't want to say much, but in the racer to racer, I want to say this personally. We are not them type of people. We're not going to talk stuff happens. I really hope Jim and them get it situated. And if they need help, we're here to help. We're not them type of people.
The team Homegrown, they haven't been back that long, and they already got one of the cylinder heads off.
This is racing. It is exactly what Team Homegrown does on a regular basis. Not blow up, but we know what to do when the time comes. Number 6 pushed the head gasket out, nipped the head. Brett and I jumped in, went to work on it. So what happened would ultimately put most teams out of the deal. That would have been end. 0 done, do not pass go, do not go to the drag strip. That would have ended in the time crunch that we had. Team Homegrown, we know how to thrash. Every one of us have grew up with junk, and we're only where we're at now by the grace of God and able to do what we do.
Dunzo. It looks pretty nar because it's literally melting the layers of steel. Bad.
Lock is good. Fire ring is okay also, just needs to be cleaned up.
We're probably feeling stronger and more confident than ever in a lot of ways.
They're Moroso battery boxes made of a fire retardant material. It's a lightweight polymer style design. It keeps the battery housed, and you have to have some sort of an enclosure whenever you relocate your battery from the factory location. They also provided the teams with wires and a battery/alternator cutoff switch. Dynabat is providing all the teams with their lightweight racing batteries. They're 16 amp hours. They only weigh 13.5 pounds. They're really compact, and they have more power per pound than any other racing style battery, which is really awesome for these teams.
I think as long as we focus and do what we do, we're gonna have no problem, because that's the thing. We came here with this plan. We followed it very tightly.
Look at that right there. Stealth edition of the Magnum Grip Pro. Neutral safety switch, reverse lockout, nice hardened steel base.
If we focus on everybody else and set ourselves to the standard of what they're doing, it's only gonna make us question ourselves.
It's the way we do things. We tune our own stuff, chassis, engine, all that, so we're always in control. It's a tough deal when you can't do that.
Good, man. Sounds freaking good, Homegrown has their cylinder heads back, and they are thrashing to get it back together.
We got a team of beasts. Yeah, we just knocked that out. Jim and I and Brett ran the heads over and got fixed, and David Reese did some welding, and we got some different head gaskets put on and got that thing put back together. We're ready to go.
When you race cars, when you have a race car and stuff that's fast, you pretty much know every time you go down the track, the potential for having to pull it apart and fix something, it's probably better than 50%.
What we fix, Jay, in 3 hours is things that we have done between rounds. So we know we got a bad hot rod. Every one of those guys know we have a bad hot rod. And I guess the next step, we'll find out really how bad it is.
We only have 1 day left for these teams to get these cars done. We've only had one car on the dyno, and it had a pretty catastrophic failure. They got it fixed, but all bets are off once we get to Verona, when $10,000 is on the line, and only one team is gonna walk away with that money and their car. Like I said, clock showing 1 day. See what happens. The last day, teams are thrashing to get these cars together before the end of the day, before time expires. They don't have very much time left. Pressure's on right now.
Teams are still working and time is running out.
Villain Squad looks like they got their wheels and tires mounted up. Jamie over at Enemies Everywhere sent them some beadlocks. Those look super dope. And then of course the Mickey Thompson rubber's the main thing, right? So the 28, 10, 5, 15s, the stiff sidewalls in the back, perfect for, you know, this style of no prep racing. And then the ET front runners are nice because they're lightweight, they're built for speed, and no matter what, they're gonna keep these cars going straight down the track. It's exactly what all these cars hopefully are gonna do.
These guys, man, they've been through a lot. As a team, we've been through a lot, you know, coming into this last minute. I think, you know, sometimes as a leader, you just got to step up to the plate and take control of situations. And that's really what the team wanted. That's what the team needed. So I kind of had to go and talk to everybody on an individual basis and then bring them as a group. At the end of the day, everybody knows what they're trying to do here and everybody wants to be here doing this.
It's a tall order for them just to get finished, and we are running out of time.
I can't stress enough how much there is on the line. One team is going to walk away with the $10,000 grand prize and their car, and the other 3 teams are going to walk away with nothing. So today is crucial. A couple of the teams got vehicles with shattered windshields, and so Optic Armor kicked in new windshields that are made of like a Lexan style material. This one's 1/4 inch.
We get all the new springs in, we get ride height set, Caltrack bar set, and I think we're ready to go to the dyno.
Oh, we're finally on the way to the dyno for the second car. It's Max S10, so we're gonna see what it can do and see if it'll stay together with that stock bottom end they got going on over there. Yep, some cars get done, some don't.
Hey, we feel stronger than ever. We're ready to roll, put it in gears, make some hits on the dyno, and then just walk away with our truck.
They're just strapping it down. See what she's gonna make. I'm sure they're not gonna get too crazy on the first pull.
You know, we've never done a lot of race gas stuff. Most everything for us is an E85 deal. It took a little bit to get the tune-up where we needed it, and when you have a budget like we all do, it's a lot. There's a lot more things that can come into play that you weren't expecting.
I've offered to help him tune it, but he declined. Told him I'd push a button or two.
Fire in the hole. That's not what you want to see. They're not getting any boost. That's a major problem.
They're a long way from where they need to be at the moment. And they know it too, so.
No boost from the turbo. The truck's not gonna work, like, at all.
So it is the last day, and out in front is going back in with the transmission and their new converter to try and get it ready. But they're running out of time, man. This is a sprint to the end.
They've had some problems with spooling this thing. A lot of times people travel from where at home they're very comfortable. They travel to a place like this and the air is completely different than what they're used to.
How can we tune around it? Which we have done with several other cars. Plenty of tuners know exactly what that means. Even the ones watching right now, you will understand what that means. That there's ways to manipulate the computer and get around things. That is what you need to do in a situation like this where you only have so many hours left. You don't have time to go buy another converter. We don't have time for that.
It took 10 seconds to get there, but it got there. So therefore, that means we're in the right track. Because that was just us taking a little bit of time, and I don't know much, and that thing got on the chip. It ain't the greatest, but we will get there. Our tuner. Now remind you, I'm not a tuner. So it might take me 3 hours to figure the out, whereas the tuner could do it in 20 minutes, but if it's gonna take me 3 hours, guess what? It's gonna take me to 3 hours.
This just proves stuff takes time. We gotta work at it little by little. Man, that was awesome.
I just want to say for all you haters at home watching, remember, you're watching me on TV.
So for the dyno team, Mac got a 2-hour slot. And right now, Team Mac has 23 minutes left on the dyno to try and get something figured out.
Put a car together in 10 days, and this is the first time you get it out and try to put some power to it. It looks like we have some wastegate issues. That was an object we tried to save some money on. And you know, it might have bit us a little bit.
I do not think we're gonna see 4 digits on this dyno at all. It sucks. That really sucks bad.
The gate's opening up. We're losing pressure. We're losing boost.
I mean, it's good we figured it out now. We still got time to work on
it. They're gonna have a couple hours left, if that. I doubt they even have a couple hours to work on it before we head to the racetrack. Oh, well, here comes the Mustang.
Since out in front missed their scheduled dyno session, they only have 30 minutes to get some data.
We had 30 minutes to be on the dyno. I mean, anybody know you can't make a change in 30 minutes. So like I said, we were just pretty much trying to make sure everything was working.
They better hurry and get this thing strapped on because they're gonna run out of time quick. It's probably gonna be the fastest dyno tune session I've ever seen. 30 minutes.
This thing, like, we're taking it home, and we really care about the whole deal. And that's why, like, you see the frustration level gets so high when somebody cuts a corner or says, like, it'll be all right. No, it's not. That's not why we're here. We did all this extra work and went the extra mile to prove that we are just a couple of young guys with a budget shop that can do builds like this for a budget.
Doesn't sound like anything too crazy, but it sounded pretty good. Problem is they're out of time. That's all there is to it. They don't have any more time to come around the tune-up and turn it up and figure it out, but engine sounds healthy, so at least they got that going for them.
We have a race car at least.
We are almost done today, and I don't even know if we're going to have running race cars. There is a lot to do, and there is virtually no time left.
In my opinion, they built their car in about 4 days, you know, and they took whatever they could to make that car work.
What if we show up on race day and he's got this car that's like no other, and it's all because we all said, man, they're struggling, just let them put it together. Let's just throw something together. I mean, he could be a genius.
Flip a coin, man. It's gonna go or blow.
To me about luck, I do not believe it. Everything that I've come across, everything that I've done, I did it from pure will, determination, and hard work. I mean, you gotta fight for it.
Thought it was a good idea, and clearly it backfired in their face.
Oh, it just dumped water everywhere. Didn't hit the wall, didn't do anything crazy.
We're just trying to get that figured out while still not blowing it up.
Kid's just a high head, so he's I feel like he's gonna himself over.
Let's look at data and see if we can see if there was something mechanical or something electronic.
It was so slow, it didn't matter.
That car's gonna be fast. I mean, you heard it in the burnout.
They made the decision to leave the property. They're unregistered, they're untitled. It's not their cars, and I have no choice but to disqualify.